Hello, my loves. Welcome to 2023 and your weekly Mind Body Monday Live with me, Cassandra McAllen, the inventor of Thought Pain Therapy and the Feminine Freedom from Pain program. Today, I'm going to talk about transformation and change despite all odds. Now, today's topic was chosen because I saw on Facebook that a beloved friend and former graduate of my program just proposed to her incredible partner, and that beautiful woman said yes. Now, this is in addition to buying and renovating her lakefront home here in California, going on a dream vacation to Paris, and leaving her career to open up her own franchise in the healing arts. So, in other words, 2022 was the best year of her life. And when she joined my program at the end of 2021, it was because she had attempted suicide. And now she is living a life of such joy and abundance that she couldn't even have imagined. So, this got me thinking about my own near death experience, which happened in 2005, and how grateful I am that I am still alive and here with you today. You may think that things are as bad as they could possibly be, and that you have been stuck in the same pain and circumstances for years, and there's no way out. But there is so much more left to have and to be and to become. So now to begin my story. Back in 2005, I had just bought my first house with my husband at the time, and we had a 5-year-old daughter, my only child. Shortly after moving into this home, he went on vacation where he met another woman, and he proceeded to leave me in the most traumatic ways possible. He said and did things that were unimaginable to me. And I'm not ashamed to admit that I became very suicidal. I thought about it nearly every day, in fact. And I was so destroyed that I even thought that my daughter would be better off without me. So one day, without actually being in the physical accidents you hear about, generally with NDEs, I left my body under extreme duress and emotional pain, the likes of which I had no desire to survive. I was praying to die. And for those that know me, my will is very strong. So it began with me laying in bed. And I was laying in bed one night and, as I said, wishing to die. I had been crying for so long and for so hard that I was as weak as I've ever been. And I found myself leaving my body. And I'd heard about this happening, but I'd never experienced anything like it. But I did. I left my body and I felt myself, whatever self exists that's not a physical form, rise up above. And I was able to look down and see myself. And I still remember I was curled up on my left side and I was pale and wan, and I was surrounded by crumpled tissue. And I looked dead. And as I rose up higher and higher, I was really confused and concerned, but at the same time, I was grateful because I realized that I was successful. I had left my body and I had hoped that this would be the end. I rose to the top of the ceiling and stared down at myself. And as I drifted there, I felt this presence surround me. This presence I could best describe as my best friend, the love of my life, the most comfortable I'd ever felt, the most loved I've ever experienced. It was unlike anything that I'd ever felt on a human plane. And as I felt this energy surround me, I felt at peace, and I knew that whatever happened, I was loved. So I gave myself over to this sensation, this energy. Now, some might say that perhaps it was God or Goddess, but to me, it felt more like another being, an angel, an avatar, another being of light, pure source energy. And it surrounded me and continued to lift me until there was nothing to see. I was surrounded by pure white light. And then, all of a sudden, I was somewhere else. And I looked around myself, and there were structures, not like buildings, but things. And they were made out of, the best I could describe would be some sort of clear, shining, opalescent material that reflected back all the light that was around me, while at the same time being able to be completely seen through. So I drifted in this space with this guide, and it eventually brought me into a room and then to a desk. And on this desk was this massive book. And I remember thinking it looked like a book, like a ginormous Bible that had been kept in families from generations. And, you used to see pictures of back in the old days where people recorded every birth and death in the history of their lineage. And it was larger than anything I'd ever seen. And in the front of the book was me. I don't know if it was my name or my image, but I suddenly knew that in this book was my life. And so this being opened this book, and the first image was the day I was born. And each page of this book had a picture on it that began static like a photo and then began to move as I watched. So I watched myself be born. And then the next page was the next moment, and the next and the next. And somehow the pages turned on their own, and I watched my entire life up until this point 12 years ago. And I watched myself through childhood, and I watched the worst times of being physically abused and sexually abused as a child. And I watched the best times, laughing so hard I peed myself with friends, feeling such joy and bliss, feeling the incredible love of nature. It was everything. All the beauty and all the tragedy of my life. And as I watched and I took each moving page in, they flew faster and faster until finally it was the moment that I had left. And I saw my body laying there on the bed. And I felt, heard, knew that I had a choice to make, that I could stay or leave. And I could see no reason to stay. So I told the being, look, look how bad I am suffering. Look how much pain I am in. And the being said to me, yes, but isn't it exquisite? And I remember being shocked and angry and saying, no, no, this isn't effing exquisite. This is horrible. I want to die. That's why you're here. That's why you showed me this. I'm done. I'm done living this life. And then the being said to me, everything in life, all experiences are exquisite. The greatest joy and the greatest suffering. They are all intense and powerful and purposeful and necessary and a part of this human experience. Everything, all of it, all the worst that I had ever been through, feeling victimized and abused in physical, mental, and emotional, spiritual pain. And again, all the joy and beauty and love and ecstasy. It was all exquisite. And I knew, I just knew in that moment that it was right. It was. It was the reason I was here. It was the reason we are all here. To fully live life with everything we have in every moment that we have. Because that's why we're here. Spiritual beings having sometimes an incredibly painful human experience. But sometimes, and most times, the possibility for so much more. And so I agreed to come back. And I felt myself fall back into my body and literally gasp what felt like the first breath that I had taken since I drifted off. And I know that this might sound crazy to you, but I will say that after this happened, I fell down a rabbit hole and I researched near-death experiences all over the place. And I found that my circumstance was very common. And that brought me such surprise and joy and peace to know that we all have purpose here. And even in the worst of our pain, we don't have to suffer. We can understand that it's just an experience. And like every other, they're all exquisite. So I wanted to share this with you. So if you are in pain or you're struggling with a decision that you don't know that you have the bravery to make, you can change your thoughts and you can change your life. And you too can live exquisitely. So that's it for today. I've missed you. Thank you for joining me. And brothers and sisters, if you are struggling, reach out to me. Let me help you reframe your pain and find the way to live your life joyously and exquisitely. So that's it for today. And I love you. And I'll see if I have any comments or anything to respond to. Oh, Maggie said, hi, lovies. Hi, my love. Emily said, so beautiful. So grateful you came back. Me too. And I didn't think I wanted to, but I'm so grateful I did. Desiree said, I love you so much and so damn thankful you're here. Gosh, this is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And as your sister, all here who love you so, this was hard and beautiful to be able to listen to. Well, sister, I know that you have been there too, and you have bravely walked through so much pain and so much tragedy. And I'm so proud of you because I also know that your life too is now more joyous than you could have possibly imagined. Karma said, if someone wanted to reach out, what's the best way to reach you? I will put a link in the chat where you can contact me. And if you're struggling, if you're suffering, I promise you there's a way out. And life gets so much better. And that client of mine that I told you about, well, she's agreed to do an interview. And so I hope to share that with you soon here on this page. And she can tell you about her journey back from what she thought she couldn't survive. So thank you all for joining me. I love you all so very much. And I look forward to seeing you next Monday. Have a fabulous, amazing 2023. Because, and repeat after me, 2023 is all about me.